Hello, Timmy Nafso here, Executive Vice President and co-founder of FortisPay. Yes, it is cold in Detroit, and got the sweater on, trying to make sure we stay warm. As many of us know in the country right now, winter is coming. So right now what we're talking about checks versus ACH, or EFT as some people call it, and why it's still important. And there's still a big percentage of folks that are using checks. And it's not as much in the retail setting, although it does exist in the retail setting, but in the B2B setting, it's absolutely something that's still utilized. And obviously, checks need to do three things. You need to be able to actually move money. That's what a check does, no different than any other type of payment. But in addition to that, we also need to be able to send a document with that, right? So, I send you an invoice, you take that invoice, write a check, send it back, and now I understand what check that ties to from an invoice perspective. And then finally, you also need to be able to create a workflow around it. So checks still haven't totally been replaced because of these three basic issues that they resolve. Well, just so you know, as a business owner, especially in the B2B market, there are solutions around that we certainly can discuss and talk about in detail. But as an example, there are services like gateway services that we offer and other companies offer. But the FortisPay Gateway is an example. We're able to go in, create a profile for a B2B situation or any type of relationship-based processing. If you're a doctor, if you're somebody a gym, things like that. A dealership where people are coming back constantly, or you have a B2B relationship, and we could put a check on file. And then with that check on file, guess what we can do? We can send a link out, through email, kind of like a quick invoice link, and we're able to say, go ahead and pay by check. And the customer in that case, or the business owner in that case, in the B2B scenario, is able to put in their banking information, store the banking information, run recurring payments on that banking information, so on and so forth, to make the process, tighten up. Now, what some people say is, well, is there a cost to that? And yeah, there are some costs to that. But when you compare it to the cost of your time out, so the receivable time, so as an example, I create an invoice, I send that invoice out, the customer, the business owner, now has a stack of mail that's sitting on their desk, and they now have to go through it once a month, as an example, and pay all those checks, write out all those checks and send them back. Well, what happens to the receivable? How long is it taking you to actually get that money in? Now the check comes in. And once the check comes in, you now have to open the envelope, post the payment into a particular system that you may use, and then somebody has to take that check to the bank or scan that check in. So what systems like check gateways do, that again we offer that service, and we would love to show you how that works if it can help your business. What that ends up doing is it allows you to simply say, I know you, you know me, we have a relationship, you always pay me on a monthly basis. I'm going to put your checking account on file. It's actually more secure, by the way. Why? Your signature is not on it. You're not sending it through the mail where it can be intercepted. Employees are not handling it where you may not know who that employee is when you send that check out, so on and so forth. Let's put that on an automated payment plan, and let's put that check on file where it's tokenized and secure. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for listening.